What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the TEC Middle School Series on Thursday afternoon for our week number 7 of regular season action. We got some good matches in preparation for the playoffs going on today, but before we get into the action, we got to talk about the people calling the action. My name's Llama77, and joined with me in the casting booth here today, it is Tucker, the caster. Tucker, how are you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. Never been better. It's a beautiful Thursday afternoon. And of course, Thursdays are the best day for Rocket League here at the TEC. We got middle school action coming at you. And Llama, we don't have one match. We don't have two matches, but we have 3 whole matches for you all today.
3 series on the day. We got Division 1, we got Division 2, and this match specifically, we're talking about the number 2 and number 3 overall seed. So high stakes on the line, still that kind of best of 5 format in between the best of 3 and best of 7. I personally love it, and I hope we get some game 5s today.
Oh, we gotta get some game 5s. I mean, Trinity versus Central Cambria has all of the fixings for a game 5 nail biter. But also, I have said that in the past, and I've gotten completely embarrassed for it because sometimes players just decide not to play like that. Sometimes it goes in 3. Sometimes matches you expect go to 3 ends up going to 5. So you can never be too sure about anything here in the TEC, especially not in middle school Rocket League.
Oh, yeah. Love to shake things up. All these players love to put their best out in the field. Central Cambria, of course, playing in the red, coming into this series at 3-1. Trinity, though, 2-0, undefeated on the season, and they're going to start out with first blood.
So far, Trinity has only lost 1 game. Undefeated in series, they're 2-0, winning one of them 3-0, one of them 3-1. So Trinity definitely looks like they are a team that is not to be messed with. And of course, Central Cambria, they are a little bit higher on the standing sheet, but they've had a little bit more of a competitive season. They are 3-1, meaning they have lost, and their round differential is only +4 rather than Trinity's +5. But I don't think they care about round differential. They just care about getting the job done, and Central Cambria ties us up.
Oh, yeah. They are locked into this series right here. The tying of goal, not even a minute gone, and we're already up here with this back and forth. I'm excited to see, though, again, all these players. It's crazy to see the talent we have down here at the Division 1 level, even in middle school Rocket League. Some of these players looking up towards their mentors up in the high school league. We saw Central Cambria play there on Tuesday as well. So love to see those feeding systems and kind of those other older players helping out the younger players, but with a minute gone, Tucker, we're still tied up.
That we are. If you remember, Trinity scored first, and it was Central Cambria to fight back and get the equalizer. One more time, Trinity looks to get at that net and take the lead, but Central Cambria is not going to let them have it that easily as they start to fight back and drive the ball down to the other side. Not for long, oh my goodness, what a shot from Link.
Not for long. Link plays and playing with the defense here with a beautiful shot beating 2. And that's going to be the lead regained here from Trinity. You mentioned the scoring first. They are going to hold that lead once again. And also, it's 2 separate players scoring. So it just goes to show you how well-rounded this Trinity squad is.
Oh my. Own goal, not fun. Gamer Ghost just deciding to take a hit there. They know that there's somebody in the backfield. That is a pretty awkward play from Big Gamer Ghost. But you know what? It's still early. We can definitely come back from that. Not the end of the world. Hey, we're still tied.
Exactly. Still tied up, and you can kind of see the mindset. You got the teammate there, maybe looking for a big booming pass up backwards. Either way, still 3 minutes left to go. As you mentioned, the time helping out both of these teams. Central Cambria, though, I say, pushing their way up with 100 boost in this Merc. AJ Strongman unable to get the touch that they want, but really good boost management right now here in the middle of the field. That's where the battle has been between these two teams. Trinity has been able to score a couple of these goals off of that control. 3 shots for them, 66% goal to shot ratio.
Halfway point is nearing. And it's still even, but Trinity's definitely had a little bit better of a time, considering Central Cambria might have 2 goals, but they have not put on any shots, which puts them at a infinite percentage of shot to goal ratio, which is pretty impressive.
I mean, it's very impressive. These players showing us they don't even need to touch the ball, but when they do touch it, they could score anyways. Rocky scores themselves the 2nd goal for themselves, the 3rd for the team, and the lead is back to Central Cambria.
You gotta love when a team can take a shot, make it into the net, and it makes the statistic less impressive, because now it's only 300%.
Yeah. No more infinity.
No
300%.
more infinity. Still good. Still very good.
Oh, yeah. For sure here. 2 minutes left to go. Trinity will see if they can increase that percentage of their own. And it's down the field. Flip off the back of the car. And in for 7 Dragon. Central Cambria extending the lead.
Just keeps going down. Make it 200. Central Cambria, though, the stats and the improbable, technically impossible stats aside, Central Cambria has come to life in the second half of this game, despite everything that they've been struggling with. I mean, they've only been able to put on 2 shots, but they've both gone in. Trinity's been playing an objectively much better game, but the mistakes have been incredibly costly.
Mistakes have been there, but of course, 5-game series, that's what this first game is all about. Get the rust off here in this first one, prepare yourself for the rest of those games, and keep that improvement going. And as well for Trinity, you talk about the time that's up on the board for them. I subscribe to the 10-second rule. I know some people a little bit more towards that 30-second rule, but this one, Horizontal Steak gonna eat that one alive. AJ Strongman in the Merc. And I'm an enjoyer of the big boy Merc. This shot, though, again. What is that crossbar doing, man? He's so mean.
1 minute to go, and you're subscribed to the 30-second rule, and you're nearing your time. Either way, Trinity still in this game. The scoring pace is a little bit lower in middle school than it is in high school, so you have to factor that in. It is definitely in Trinity's best interest to score another one as soon as possible. This might be the opportunity, but Rocky with a fantastic save almost puts this game on ice.
This was almost there, but now it's starting to melt. Only 30 seconds left to go here for Trinity. Would love to score now. Like we said, if you can score now, maybe get one of those Rule 0 plays that you always dream to make of as a player. However, Central Cambria, they are just pushing towards the net, keeping the possession away, and keeping that shot counter going up and up and up for Trinity. 15 seconds left to go.
15 seconds left to go. It's still Central Cambria right in front of the net. One more shot, and Llama, you said the ice was melting, but they put a little more on top. A couple more cubes. That's going to do us for game 1, and 7 Dragon gets the Hattie, and will likely end off with a 100% shot to goal ratio. But, I mean, Llama, we know that's a lot more impressive than it actually says.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's very impressive. I will say, though, the infinity was fun while it lasted, and the 400, 300, and whatever percentage they racked it up to. Either way, 0 is on the clock and bouncing on down here for Central Cambria, the victors of game number 1 with a 5-2 final game result. And I got to say, the battle back after Trinity was able to take the lead multiple times, they were showing some grit out there.
They absolutely were. And taking a look at the post-match stats, if you notice, the bottom half is almost entirely blue, except for saves. Central Cambria had them edged just a little bit, but demos were theirs. Touches were theirs. Ball possession and boost consumption were also theirs. Only one that was not is field domination, which goes right down the middle at 50-50. So I would argue as to Trinity played the better game, but Central Cambria, when it came down to the moments where they had to make something out of it, they had a 100% success ratio. In Trinity, that's where they slipped. They had the opportunities, but they just couldn't make anything.
make anything happen. A couple of those mistakes, those happen in game number 1 when the stress levels are at its maximum. But again, that's why we play this 5-game series here going into the second one for Trinity. They showed us the goals, they showed us the offense, and they showed us the ability to score when they needed it most. It's just here in this next game, we got to watch out for a couple of those pesky mistakes. Central Cambria, though, give them so much credit to be able to capitalize off those mistakes, give themselves a lead. We'll see if they can do the same headed here into game number 2.
Have a substitute coming out for Central Cambria. We got Vin and Cheese coming in as 7 Dragons goes out, and I believe that Big Dog as well coming in for Trinity. Not sure who they subbed out, though.
Who they subbed out either, but I do like to see the roster with a little bit of versatility. You've got players on the bench ready to step in at any single moment. That just makes you guys a better team overall. This shot going to be denied up in the air, a little bit slow rolling, and it's going to be the demolition from AJ Strongman. That big Merc flying towards their faces.
More time, Big Dog a little too low on the flip, and AJ Strongman beats them off of that ball. However, Link Play still driving down. The nice flick goes for a bump. I love the play, but it does not connect. Once more, Trinity shot and saved away by AJ.
Saved away. And it gone as well, so a little bit of time off this clock. And for Trinity, feel like they want to score first. I know that's a little bit obvious of a statement, but to be able to hold on towards that advantage, don't let this game get out of control. Don't let Central Cambria start to get that scoreboard in their favor. It's going to go aerial once again, but bouncing off towards this sidewall is where it lies. Some boost not able to be picked up, and the defense going to be able to recover. However, this has been spending a lot of time down here in the Central Cambria defensive zone.
Reminiscent of game 1, Trinity had everything going for them until the halfway point. Trinity could not finish it out. Central Cambria might just be a late bloomer team. I mean, so far, Central Cambria does not have any shots put up. Trinity has 2. None of them have gone in yet, but it is in CC's best interest to probably not let any more go in. Or come in, rather, because eventually one of them is going to go in.
It's that law of averages. You keep letting the shots fly on down. Eventually, they are going to connect. Or if you're playing on offense, talk about the offense. Rocky Road all day long here. Beautiful scoop of the ice cream. And AJ Strongman, what a pass along with the bump on the backboard.
If you keep letting shots go in, eventually one of them is going to find its home in the net, but no. Central says, no, get that out of here. We only need 1 shot, 1 kill, and 1 lead going our way, and make it another one from Rocky.
Rocky's going crazy. This one's a solo play from the back half. Long range, 2/3 of the court shot. And talk about what a switch after Trinity had the early pressure, had the early shooting. It's Central Cambria with back-to-back shots, preserving that 100% shot-to-goal ratio.
Another beat by Central Cambria. A big whiff, though, but still, what is with these own goals? Hold on a second. Trinity now taking their first goal of the game thanks to a team pinch from AJ and Rocky.
Balls in their net. You'll take any goal you can get, but that's what happens sometimes when you're increasing the pace, when you're throwing the fast ones around. Sometimes it just catches a defender off guard. So nonetheless, Trinity cutting into the lead. Feels good to kind of get that goal kind of immediately after the 2-goal flurry was scored from Central Cambria. Now you've got an opportunity, drive down the field and see if you can tie things right back up. They're getting the offense, but unfortunately Big Dog is going back to the mechanic shop.
1 shot saved away. 1 more setup is also denied by Central Cambria. Once more from Link, and Vin and Cheese alongside Rocky doesn't let it happen. Floating right in front of the net, and eventually it is saved away. Good discipline by Link, not touching that. We have seen a lot of own goals this series. We don't need any more. Link recognizes that, waiting for the ball to cross the threshold of the net and taking it over to the wall. But still, Trinity, off of that near own goal, they back up into the Central Cambria side and start pounding at the net again.
And the offense. But how long will they stay here is the real question. Again, they've got time, but it will slowly dwindle away. The more touches that are sent wide here. Vin and Cheese going to pick up this touch on the side wall and pick up some boost to refill their tank as well. I feel like the defense here for Trinity just waiting to get one of those big clears and dangerously dancing across that goal line once again. Central Cambria has just played so good in these late moments to drain down the clock, make sure there isn't any opportunities, and Trinity is only down to a minute left.
They are, but the good news for them is they're only down by 1, and we have seen just how quickly goals can go one way or the other, but it's not going the way of Trinity. Central Cambria doubles up on their lead and just made things twice as hard.
Twice as hard, twice the lead, and talk about Vin and Cheese off the bench. Goes in, makes the play, uses their full tank to beat the defender, and now is up in that 2-goal margin. Trinity has an opportunity to try and get back on offense here right off of kickoff, but using some of their boosts to try and get back towards the middle of the field. Central Cambria looking to put themselves on series point, and with only about a $50, the 30 seconds of time left, Trinity needs some goals quick.
They've got it right where they need it, dead center, and Trinity is on the board again. The first time this game they have scored a goal that was last touched by their player. Hey, it's better late than never. With 20 seconds to go, they're only down by 1. And when they have an opportunity, they can absolutely find the mark. Now, all Central Cambria has to do is not allow them any more opportunities in the last 10 seconds. Might be easier said than done, though. Saved away by Rocky.
Save there. Down to 5 seconds left to go. Passing play just inches off its mark, and this one going to drop down again. Central Cambria surviving the late stages of game number 2 with a 3-2 game result. We'll move to 2-0 on the series. Tucker, they only need one more game to close it out.
This one looks pretty similar to the first one as well. Most stats are going the way of Trinity, except for saves. Of course, goals, assists, and score. But the shots are the same. The demos are the same. The touches are a little bit better for Trinity. Ball possession, same. Boost consumption and field domination is both in Trinity. And field domination by quite a wide margin. Excuse me. Can't believe it's not butter there. But it needs to be better from Central Cambria, or does it? They're winning these games by a pretty considerable amount in the first game's case anyway. The second one was a little bit of a squeaker, but you also have to recognize one of their goals was an own goal by themselves.
Very true. So we'll have to see if they can maybe clean up a little bit here in this next game, but also, as you mentioned, they've been playing slow, but it feels like they're okay with it. They're okay just taking their own shots, letting Trinity make a couple of those mistakes, and then getting their nice little firing squad to try and shoot towards the net. Either way, like we mentioned, this is the scenario here for Trinity down 0-2. This has kind of been an unfamiliar territory for them throughout the season. You talk about a squad that is 2-0, have yet to drop a series. This could be their first unless they reverse sweep it.
It's going to be really difficult. I see a world in which Trinity can do it, but the mistakes have been quite heavy, quite costly, and there have been quite a few of them, and I think that needs to change right now. Best way to start off a reverse sweep is by scoring first, and Central Cambria says, nah-uh.
Even the finger in front of the face, and talk about Rocky and their performance today has been stellar. Sky high here, 15 seconds in, scoring the first one and cutting down one of the big win conditions here for Trinity and their to-do list. The good thing and bad thing, you know, you did get scored on relatively early. The good news is, though, Tucker, now you have so much more time to try and respond.
That is true. If this was a 0-0 ball game for 2, 3, 4 minutes and then Central Cambria scored, I would be a little bit more worried, but there's still time. It's unfortunate you get scored on first, but it's better to have it happen now than happen when there's 30 seconds left. So you always have to look at the positive. This reverse sweep is definitely not over. The dreams are still alive, but Trinity, they've got to make their dreams a reality. I don't think Central Cambria is going to make enough mistakes for that.
Mistakes are there. See if they can force some of them as well. I feel like some of that physicality play we saw earlier, we saw it more from the Merc on the other side of the field, but we'll love to see those demolitions and some of those bumps to take that final defender out of the play. Vinicius is going to pop this one up high here, leaving the defender for Central Cambria back in the net. Big Dog going to leave this one for the teammate. The passing play back to Gamer Ghost. It's going to be the third teammate. The shot from Link plays is a little bit too far to the right side, but I'm loving what I'm seeing from these passing plays from Trinity.
Absolutely. This one finds home, and Trinity is on the board. It took them a minute and a half, but Central Cambria no longer has the lead, and Trinity, after shot, it's finally through, and we're all tied up again.
Puts it in reverse, ties us up. Trinity are back in this game with 3 minutes and 30 left to go. Like you talked about, and like we were actually both talking about, those passing plays, the shot after the shot, continually adding pressure on towards that Central Cambria net. There's just going to be a couple defenders laying around, waiting and seeing, and Link plays looking for a pass. Rocky, though, with 0 boost, protected the low ground, make sure that pass could not go through in front of the net. It's going to be another great shot, and it's rolling in. Link plays back-to-back goals.
Felt like there was a magnet in that ball pushing everyone on the Central Cambria side away. 1 whiff, 2 whiffs, and in the net for the second time on Trinity's side. For the first time in what feels like forever, Trinity has a lead. And if I were Central Cambria, I would be a little bit nervous, but hold on a second. Might not even need any nerves yet. We already have 1 shot that nearly evens us up.
That was close. The drop-down shot doesn't fall in. However, still, like we mentioned after the first goal for Central Cambria, there is still time here for Central Cambria to respond, just like Trinity had the time to respond to them. Rocky with a big banger shot off of the left post and off of a defender. I feel like if it's going to be anybody, I feel like these passing plays along with Rocky's just dominance and sharpshooterness, it could definitely be them to bring this game back.
Oh no, a huge team bump, but a whiff. The accuracy's not good enough for the Trinity side, and now Central Cambria has a massive opportunity. Everybody has to run back to the Trinity net. Central Cambria is just not going to get there in time, but still, a big opportunity shows that those are possible, maybe few and far between. But eventually, if Trinity's not careful, they are going to give up another one of those. And Central Cambria just has to stay vigilant and keep on the lookout.
Keep on the lookout. Got to keep looking for those opportunities as well. Every single drive down the field, you have a chance to try and close things out here for Central Cambria. Again, it's not the end of the world if they drop this game, but it can start that dangerous momentum. But Rocky's got momentum up in the air, all tied up.
It might not be the end of the world, Llama, but I don't think Central Cambria wants to test those waters. A big coast-to-coast play from Rocky evens us up yet again, and with the clock starting to run a little bit thin, every move matters so much more.
Single touch, every single play, like you mentioned, just increasing the value as that time dwindles down to nothing. Up across the Trinity defensive end will fall down, and Rocky is looking for the hat trick. If they could get the 3rd goal here, could possibly close out the series with a dagger. Big Dog, though, pushing their way forward, trying to get some offense on that backboard. I feel like Trinity with this offense and the demo was looking good, but that dang crossbar again.
1 minute ticking left, and 1 more shot, saved away, Vin! Oh, Vinny, you've got to hit those. It's a thin touch, it's off to the side, and the biggest opportunity that Central Cambria has had goes to waste, and Trinity looks to make advantage of it, or take advantage of it, but it's not quite good enough. It floats up, and Vin and Cheese drives it back down, looking to right the wrong they made on the last drive. They have a bit of space to work with.
Got space. But how far can they fly? Will it be up to the stars? Link plays another great shot passing play there. Another one added towards these backboard touches. Rocky with 0 boost, not able to make the play down the field. This could be it. Overtime in game number 3, or do we see a goal? Bouncing off in the corner, maybe one more opportunity, and dropping down. We get blessed with some overtime as a decider for game number 3.
OT in game 3. As the kickoff goes the way of Trinity. Rocky with a fantastic beat away to save that ball. One of the Trinity players is stuck on the net of Central Cambria, leading for a momentary 2-on-2. Of course, you have not noticed Central Cambria decided to switch up their playstyle, going with the designated goalie just for game 3. Game 1 and 2, they were quite rotational. But this time, they have decided to keep their third man in the net, which is a play that I don't love, but I also don't hate if done right.
As long as that player is stepping up out of the net to make some of those saves, you definitely can get a little bit of value out of that defender. But also, we've seen teams before, you look at the top teams, especially in the high school league, they're always moving, right? They're always going towards the ball. They're always going to pick up more boosts. So keeping on moving, and sometimes it does take that demo or bump to knock you out of the goal, to knock you into the rest of the field. Link plays, though, looking for passing plays time and time again here. Already a minute of extra time. Rocky looking for the hat trick, but the shot, just a little bit too much sauce.
That was rolling into the net.
Yeah.
Oh, no. Rolling right to the net. That was the ice. That was the game breaker. Central Cambria thought they had to touch it one more time. They did not. And now Trinity might be able to take this one and run away with it, but Rocky looks to deny a little bit more. Still bouncing around. Vin and Cheese has one touch, not the best one. Stays in the Central Cambria corner for a little bit longer, but saved away by Rocky one more time.
Love that save. Rocky's been doing a ton here in this game, and still looking for that hat trick as we approach 2 minutes of extra time here in overtime. Again, the stakes here for Trinity. They need to score if they want to start this reverse sweep, and a good start right here. Rocky has a 1v1 down the field. Big Dog slams that one all the way home to the other side of the field, and now Trinity can get on offense. A good touch across the backboard, but nothing really else there to follow it up. Trinity, again, so many shots this game, but still looking for that game-ending goal.
And she's decided to go for the boost. Trinity lets them have all the space in the world that they want. So Central Cambria is going to take it. We've reached a game and a half in this OT. So one more demo will put the exclamation point on it. Then Cheese has to respond. Great play by Neon coming out and clearing that ball, but it's heading towards the net one more time. Rocky with a big save and drives it back down once again. Stays with it, rolling towards the net, and somehow Link plays, gets back.
Link is playing with our feelings, that's for sure. Gets back and gets all the way down towards the left post on the other side of the field. Man, a couple of close opportunities for both of these two teams, and still the stakes could not be higher here in this game number 3 for Trinity. Central Cambria, though, we got to remind ourselves of how good Rocky has been doing. 5 shots, 2 goals, and the Savior medal as well. Big Dog, though, is going to clear this one in. No boost to work with, banking on their teammates in the rotations.
One more shot, and dead center. It's way too fast for Neon, and we go on to game number 4. Link plays, extends the series after 8 minutes and 31 seconds. Trinity, after the thick and thin battle, they finally put it away and extend this series.
Series is extended. We're going to at least 4, and Link plays. We were talking all game about Rocky. Oh, will you hit the hat trick? Will you end the series off a 3rd goal? Well, it's actually Link plays getting themselves the hat trick, the MVP, and the game-ending shot. Of course, for Central Cambria, it's not the end of the world. Like we said, you already won those first 2 games. You have those in your back pocket. Now you just have to win one of the next 2. But Tucker, if you're Central Cambria and you lose this next one, things start to get dangerous.
They absolutely do. And we gotta talk about Central Cambria having so many opportunities to end out that game. They had shot after shot. They had play after play that was set up for them, but it felt like they were a little bit timid when it came in front of the ball, like a deer in the headlights, so to speak. As it felt like there were some times whenever Rocky had an easy challenge or Vin and Cheese had an easy challenge, and instead of going for it, they decided to fall back. And in the end, I'm pretty sure that's what got them kicked.
Oh, we'll see if they can clean things up here in game number 4. Of course, Central Cambria, they showed us a lot of their good offense there in the first 2 games. So we know they got it. Both these teams, they've got the offense. And it was the big MVPs of both squads already starting this game against each other. Rocky and Link plays, both of them scoring combined with the 5 goals in that 3rd game. However, I feel like it could be one of those 2 to once again open things up here in this 4th game.
Oh no, Link plays! Saved away by Big Dog. We almost saw another own goal on the series, but this time it is denied. So the number will stay at 2 for the time being at least. Coming down is Big Dog. They have an opportunity, but the post is too good. The 4th defender that never misses. Introducing the Steak.
That Steak, man, it's been a mean one here today. The most valuable post, some call it the MVP, the true 4th defender. Whatever it is, also for Central Cambria, you also talk about, again, this deep roster. No more Neon this game. It is going to be 7 Dragon 82 brought back to fight this Trinity squad. Again, this was the roster that won that first game for them, so we'll see if they can find a little bit more of that success. But Tucker, I always love to see when a team has those extra members.
Very true. It shows depth. It shows that they do have options, and also it can throw off an opposing team. Or an opposing player specifically. And you cannot deny that in the last game, Trinity was a little bit thrown off because considering they've been a little bit more rotational games 1 and 2, and then game 3 they come out with an expendable goalie. It definitely changed up the play style just a little bit. They end up winning that game, but it still made them think a little harder than they had to. As Central Cambria, no need for the expendable goalie here, as Central Cambria will simply put one dead center. That's 7 Dragon to get it done. We haven't seen too many goals from 7 Dragon so far.
No, I mean, 7 Dragon was one of the players, like we said, that kind of was rotating in between, in and out of that bench and starting slot. But you got to give so much credit to Rocky as well. The pass was beautiful. 7 Dragon with a shot and almost another one there again. Is what you love to see for Central Cambria, just not one player scoring all your goals. Talk about scoring, though. This one going to the crossbar a little bit high and dry. With half of this game left to play, Trinity only down 1, and boy, do they have a ton of shots already accrued.
Ooh, coast to coast again. Rocky with a save and shot and goal all in one play. And Trinity now in a little bit of a pickle. Central Cambria up by 2 with a little over halfway to go. So far, Trinity has not been able to score yet. And another own goal is saved away by the Steak. Trinity, what's going on?
Those fast shots, Central Cambria always forcing the tough defensive saves, but for Trinity, it's okay. You know, calm things back down. You have that one game that you won in the previous one. This one bouncing and just going to find its way on in. 7 Dragon. One heck of a game here for themselves.
Very, very true. That's their 2nd goal, and that's off of their 2nd shot as well. Central Cambria takes the 3-goal lead. Trinity is still not on the board yet. This one might change, though. Nice shot, but it is saved away by Rocky. If Central Cambria has anything to say about it, Trinity will not even get close to the net. So far, their defense has been working on all cylinders, but the demo play is so nice. And we've got it. Trinity now on the board.
Oh yeah, talked about Central Cambria wanted to be the ones not letting them close to the net, but Trinity had some other plans. Demolition, physicality, this is what we wanted to see. Remove that goalie and move forward from there. Trinity on the board here. Demolition, double demolition. Sparks are flying off the post here. Secondary touch from Big Dog will slow things down. And Trinity are out for a record number of car parts here in game number 4.
That's a lot of mechanics fees already. I love what I played. The jokes aside and the sarcastic tone aside, Trinity is playing a fantastic idea going with the demo. They know that in a traditional offense versus defense, they're probably not going to be able to win, especially not against this specific roster of 7 Dragon and AJ Strongman. So take them out of the equation. Just bump them out of the way. You can't make a save if you're not there.
Yeah, you take the last defender out of the equation, all of a sudden there's no more defenders. So the math is very simple and easy. However, the math is looking good for Central Cambria right now. 60 seconds to go. Another delaying touch there from 7 Dragon as the demolition. AJ Strongman coming in with a strong merc saying, I can get some demolitions too. But Trinity still need to find this, second goal to give them an opportunity at the 0-0 marker to still be able to make a play. Yes, they're going for some upwards pressure, but Central Cambria are handling this pressure really well.
That they are, despite the demos and despite the hard-hitting shots, they have still not let too much in. And Llama, I believe the term is too little too late. Trinity had a great idea, put one in, but I think it's too little too late as one more floats down right into the net. And Central Cambria once again puts this game on ice. This time we get a little bit of a combo, as that's the series as well.
Huge stuff. And talk about Rocky, their performance in this game, in the series, a couple of MVPs for themselves. But this game wasn't all of them. The teammates, AJ Strongman getting involved in an assist, 7 Dragon with the double goal pickup. All of this Central Cambria roster looking very scary. Zeros on the clock, the roller towards the ground. And Central Cambria, with that victory, will move to 4-1 on the regular season.
Can't argue with that. And still, a statistic that is consistently Trinity's is pretty much the entire lower half. The demos were theirs, the saves were theirs, the touches were theirs, ball possession, boost consumption, and field domination, they were all theirs. But Central Cambria still wins the game. This was the case in game 1, 2, and 4. Somehow, despite being statistically the team that should have lost, they're the team that wins. And it was not necessarily close. I mean, 5-2 in the first game, 4-1 in the fourth as well. Central Cambria, I don't know how they did it, but they won, and by a lot.
Did win the series 3-1 victory for them, and gotta say, like we said, it was a lot of strong pieces that came together to make an amazing puzzle for them. However, for Trinity, they had some fight in them, and they had some demolitions. They gave us a show. They won that game number 3, and that just shows the improvement that this squad is putting in all throughout the season. You talk about their record as well. This is their first loss that they've had throughout the entire regular season. So they moved to 2-1. They've still got some games left to play here for the rest of the season, and this could be a rematch we see later on in the playoffs.
I would definitely not be unexpected of it, considering how good both of these teams are, and I'm honestly hope to see them play again in the playoffs. I got a feeling that would just be higher stakes and even higher execution, higher level of play. But we don't know how the playoffs is going to go just yet. We're not going to go and we're not going to know until like a couple more weeks. So there's no need to speculate too hard on it. The only thing that we can speculate on is that we have more Rocket League today. We've got 2 more matches coming up after this break. So make sure that you don't go anywhere. Get your water, get your snacks, and come right back. We'll see you after the break.
Hey, yo, what it do, what it do? It's your boy Q, and we got just 2 weeks left of our regular season over here for our Tech High School series. And y'all already know how we do on Tuesday. We get down and take to the pitch for some Rocket League. But before we do that, we had a lot of games last week. So let's go ahead and check in and see how our teams fared and set the stage before we head down the home stretch for the spring. Let's get it. And in Division 1 action, it was Greensburg Central able to sweep Albert Gallatin in their first matchup of the week. And what's better than one sweep? Oh yeah, dudes, 2 sweeps, this time against West Green. And it was Shadows leading the way through both series with a combined 13 goals, 6 assists, and 8 saves. And that's going to move Greensburg Central up to 3-2 on the semester. Franklin Regional were also able to pick up a W over West Green. 3 straight games, and the Panthers were able to limit the West Green squad to just 2 goals. And it was Duhan leading the way with 8 goals and 5 assists, as Franklin Regional moved to 2-4 on the semester. And Forest Hills had a makeup game against Winburn area, and they were looking to get things done quick, fast, and in a hurry. 3 straight games for Forest Hills, and it was Fungus leading the team in goals with 8 of them things. Step aside, Pig B, able to get 3 saves as well. And let's talk about Penn Trafford. In a series where they outscored their opponents 20-5, Penn Trafford broke out the brooms against Fraser High School in their first series of the week. Their second series of the day, though, a banger. 5-game series against Laurel Highlands that went the distance. And in both series, it was literally Johnny doing it all. 21 goals, 6 assists, and 7 saves, as Penn Trafford moved to 5-2. And it was the Goats from Greater Altoona who were able to move up to 4-2 on the spring with a dub over Laurel Highlands. And they looked good doing it too. 3 straight games. The Goats move up to 5-0. Definitely wouldn't want to see this squad on my schedule heading down the home stretch. And it was Boyertown able to hold it down against Franklin Regional, sweeping the Panthers, moving themselves to 2-3. And they looked quite good in their performance last week. And rounding out our Division 1 action, it was California area, the number 1 seed and only undefeated squad left in the spring, able to pick up a big win against Boyertown. And it was Iguavo doing it all, literally leading in every single category. 7 goals, 5 saves, and 6 assists. Talk about an MVP performance. Now, as far as our Division 2 action goes, we had West Branch able to take down Boyertown 3-1 in the only Division 2 series that wasn't a sweep. And it was West Branch able to move themselves to 2-4. Greensburg Central were able to pick up a win against California area, and this might be a TEC record. 41 goals scored in just 3 games. And it was Bubble Guppy leading the way with 16 of them, assisting on 9 as well, as Greensburg Central moved to 3-2. Jefferson Morgan were able to move to 5-1 off a big W against Central Cambria, the defense showing up big and really limiting the opportunities for Central Cambria, as Jefferson Morgan win in 3 straight games. And it was the Goats from Greater Altoona able to keep their undefeated spring alive. They've only dropped 1 single game this semester, and it wasn't last week, sweeping Brownsville area. And it was QWERTY not only scoring 4 goals, but leading his team in assists as well with 4 of them, as Greater Altoona moved to 5-0. And Albert Gallatin were able to move up to 3-2 with a win over Salisbury Elklick. And they were able to hold the Elks to just 1 goal, as Got Skills recorded the double-double, 10 goals and 10 assists, along with a save as well, truly showing that he has skills. And Forest Hills were able to bust out the brooms against West Branch, 3 straight games, and Block A leading the way, 8 goals along with 3 assists, as Forest Hills moves to 6-0. And it was Westmont Hilltop able to come out on top in their matchup against Franklin Regional, holding the Panthers to just 5 goals in their sweep, as it was Moose scoring 8 and saving 9 of them, along with dishing out 8 assists, as Westmont moved to 3-2. And last week's D2 game of the week ended up being a doozy. Don't let the 3-0 scoreline fool you. All 3 games were close and really didn't get decided until the very end. But Gateway keep their undefeated spring alive, moving to 5-0. And now that we've gotten to see how last week's action broke down, let's go ahead and see who's moved up, down, or out of our Division 1 Power 5 rankings. And y'all already know we can't leave out our Division 2 squads. Let's go ahead and check those out as well. And here's our overall standings for our Division 1 Rocket League thus far. And let's go ahead and look at those Division 2 standings heading down the home stretch. Now, there's a particular matchup that you're looking for. Let's go ahead and take a look at our schedule for week number 8, so we can make sure that we got y'all in the right spot to catch the action live. I know my matchup to watch is going to be Boyertown versus Connellsville High School. Two teams just outside the playoff picture that could both use a big W heading into the final week. And in Division 2, let's go ahead and keep an eye out for a battle between two one-loss squads in Jefferson Morgan versus Richland. And with that, it means it's time we get down and do what it do and get to week number 8. Good luck to all of our competitors hitting the pitch. And don't forget, we've got more content than ever coming y'all's way over on social media as well as over on YouTube. Top 5 plays this year have been super spicy. So make sure you're getting involved, smacking the like button, leaving a comment, and don't forget to tell somebody, to tell somebody, to tell somebody about it. Until we do catch y'all back over here for the next one, man. Don't forget, with everything crazy going on in the world today, be true, be you, be sincere. Game hard and love hard, all right, y'all? It's your boy Q, signing now. Hey, yo, what it do, what it do? It's your boy Q, and we got just 2 weeks left of our regular season over here for our TEC High School series. And y'all already know how we do on Tuesday. We get down and take to the pitch for some Rocket League. But before we do that, we had a lot of games last week. So let's go ahead and check in and see how our teams fared and set the stage before we head down the home stretch for the spring. Let's get it. And in Division 1 action, it was Greensburg Central able to sweep Albert Gallatin in their first matchup of the week. And what's better than one sweep? Oh yeah, dudes, 2 sweeps, this time against West Green. And it was Shadows leading the way through both series with a combined 13 goals, 6 assists, and 8 saves. And that's going to move Greensburg Central up to 3-2 on the semester. Franklin Regional were also able to pick up a W over West Green. 3 straight games, and the Panthers were able to limit the West Green squad to just 2 goals. And it was Duhan leading the way with 8 goals and 5 assists as Franklin Regional.
And we're back. Apologies about that. Looks like lobby and players already ready to go. And these are players ready to play some Rocket League here at the TEC week number 7 middle school series. Still Llama and Tucker up here on the desk. And we got a matchup between California in the dark maroon red and Chartier Houston in the brighter red. And it looks like Tucker, Chartier is actually able to score first.
Scoring first already, and they have a bit of an advantage coming into this game considering that they are the now, as we just saw Trinity lose, they're the only team that is undefeated, and they look to stay that way. They are going up against the statistically worst team in the league, currently California area at 0-2 with a -6 round differential. So this game slanted to go to Chartiers Houston. However, never count the underdogs out because anything can happen here at TEC. Chartiers Houston, though, they look to count the underdogs out early and get them beaten as soon as possible.
yeah. I mean, how about 2 goals to start off this game? That's one way to start it out. Chartiers able to pick up the second goal, and both scored by Drizzy Waffles here to start out the game. So lovely stuff for them. As you mentioned, though, California, they might be down there at the bottom of the leaderboard, but they've only played 2 games. We got a small sample size, and maybe they can prove themselves here today in this series. It looks like already their defense doing some work. The Savior medal to Crack3435. It's now just about getting out of that defensive sector, moving forward, and scoring some of those goals.
Halfway through almost, and Chartiers Houston has been dominating, and they get a little bit more. And Llama, give them the hat trick. Beautifully done from Drizzy, undefended net.
I'm running out of hats, Tucker. I don't know if I can keep doing this, man. I'm running out of hats. I keep throwing them out on the field, but yeah, Drizzy Waffles, the hat trick for themselves, the 3 goals for the team. And you talk about the teamwork as well. Both of the teammates able to pick up an assist on one of those 3 goals from the Drizzy Waffles goals. So can tell definitely well-rounded at the top of the leaderboard here for a reason. But as we always mention, the time is of the essence here for California, and they still have about half of this game.
Not over just yet, but Chartiers Houston does not look like they are going to take this one easy. But California area, they are not dead in the water just yet, Mr. Giggle. Great way to touch that pass, and Lily's on the finish is magnificent.
Decent play indeed, and cuts the lead down to just 2 here. This is what we're going to need to see from California, is some of these passing plays. Lily actually pops this one off the backboard, beautifully leaving it towards their teammate. Mr. Giggle, though, not able to pick up the rest of the play. Fast down the field, and it's a double commit, but it's enough to make the save. This California defense is locked in.
Locked and loaded, despite the hard shots coming out from Chartiers. California area not letting anything go up. This time it's the Steak, the MV post, that saves it away. Chartiers Houston, though, is still very much there, still pounding on that net, so they've got to be careful. Another one, MVP yet again.
Keeps doing it to us, Tucker, doesn't it? It keeps saving these shots that are just inches away from finding its mark. Drizzy Waffle, nice 50-50, though, up in the air. Is going to pop this one towards the backboard. Double touch, bar down and in.
Bar down and in, beautiful. The Steak can save 1, the Steak can save 2. 3rd time. Not this time.
No.
Not this time. And it's 4-1. Time is running out. It looks like Chartiers might just have game 1 in the bag if they can hold out for a little bit longer.
Hold out. Minute 15 on the clock. California, though, have showed us they can score. And with that teamwork, it's always dangerous if they could get a kickoff goal, a defensive play here or there to send it down the field. For Chartiers right now, though, they've got 60 seconds and they are pushing forward. Boost aplenty here for Drizzy Waffles. Going up, leaves it for the teammate, and a drop down passing play. Mr. Giggle is able to come up with a save there at the end of it.
5 seconds to go, and Chartiers Houston has been pushing everyone out of their way, everything to the side. The California area, clock is ticking. I think you got to wrap this one up. Label it as a wash. Try to get the next one. Good news for them, they were able to score once, and it's not like it was an own goal. It wasn't like it was a huge mistake for Chartiers Houston. They played a really good idea, and they got the job done, which gives me a lot of faith for this next game. California area, they've had a really tough season, but I don't think this game is as big of a blowout as I expected coming into it. That's what I'm trying to say.
Oh, yeah. They kept it close. You talk about their defense being able to step it up. Of course, it does mean that Chartiers is able to take this first game, start off the series in the way they would want, and pretty much winning a lot of these categories that we're seeing there at the end of the stat screen. However, for California, Demos winning that saves. You talk about their defense absolutely lighting up the field, and if you can make a couple more of those saves, we already saw the offense get going.
Oh, for sure. Chartiers Houston might have dominated the field and dominated the statistics. However, California area, they were definitely not out of it. They had more saves, be it that's why they were taking more shots, more demos. That is also another big one. Chartiers not deciding to go for any demos, which is a good thing, but B, also a scary thing. It's kind of a double-edged sword for California area. Considering Chartiers didn't go for any, that might make things a little easier, but if they do decide to go for some when things get a little dicey, that might just end the run of California area before it can even get started.
I want to have that ended. I mean, you still have an opportunity here in game number 2 to try and close things out and try and get yourself right back in this series. Tying up things 1-1 would be nice for the California squad, but Chartiers definitely showing some good stuff there in the game number 1. Like we said, number 1 overall here in Division 1 for a reason. We're going to hop right into game number 2.
Hop, hop, hop right on into it. Oh, my goodness, 4 seconds. Llama not even needing anything but the kickoff. Mr. Giggle, such a good attempt, but it's just not the touch. The hitbox does not work, does not compute. Chartiers Houston starting things off with a bang yet again, but California one-upping the best in the league. Are you kidding me?
You've got kickoff goals. We've got kickoff goals too. Lily, the equalizer, absolutely immediately. And gotta say, some of these players running my favorite wheels, the old Chopper EG. So they've got some good style as well. And we're 10 seconds in, 2 goals on the board, maybe even another one here. The pressure is flowing like crazy.
Shots by James, saved away by Lilies. And California area, this might just be the game that they needed to lock in. I mean, there's a saying that competition breeds competition. Iron forges iron, or steel sharpens steel, I believe is the right terminology for it. And I mean, the steel might be California area. They're looking very, very sharp.
Sharp here in this game. A lot of time left to go to still sharpen up your skills and make those adaptations we always talk about. Jersey Waffles doesn't get the first touch they want, but the second touch almost there. Uses all the boost to keep the control, and the Chartiers players just time and time again going for the slow plays, the patient plays, and making California overstep their bounds. However, this one is so dangerous. Lilies was flying in there but couldn't get a touch.
Still tied up. Likely not going to take too much longer for Chartiers to find his way back to the net. But the question is, California area, can they save it out, or are they going to crumble to the heavy shots? Chartiers, they are likely the hardest hitting team in the entire middle school division when it comes to specifically taking the shots. Those are going to hit, and they are going to be incredibly difficult to defend. But yet again, it's California area making the save and keeping this series and game tied up. Not series just yet. The California area, they have been right on their back. And Chartiers, they have not quite been as good as they want to.
You talk about maybe a prophecy here, Tucker, as you have spoken, but we'll see if California can equalize out the series. The equalized out game right now with the 1-1. A little bit of bumping action going on. I love to see that from Chartiers, the top team for a reason here, getting in that physicality, trying to create an upward touch, and the passing play is just too clean.
I was worried that eventually that was going to happen. Once Chartiers Houston gets in the air, it's going to be wraps. Fortunately, I don't think that California area has any aerial prowess, which is unfortunate to say, but at this level you have to have a bit of aerial prowess, and Chartiers has all of it they could ever want. California area just struggling a little bit, and once again, once this ball gets up into the air, it was wraps from there, and that is doubled up already.
the back-to-back goals, like you said, for Chartiers, able to increase their lead. I mean, you talk about California and their defense. It had been really stellar in that first game, and still here, even in this one. Of course, I talk about their defense, they get scored on, but, you know, they've been making some pretty critical saves, but it's always these passes from Chartiers that are finding open space in their net.
They are. And that's what makes Chartiers Houston so good, is they can make a mile out of an inch. And so far, California area has been doing a great job about not giving them the miles to start. But Chartiers Houston is such a good team when it comes to making up space. California area, they could play the best game that they can. But Chartiers Houston is not going to care one bit. If California area played this game against any other team in the league, I have a feeling that they would be either winning or at least tied in the series. But Chartiers Houston, no. They're just miles above everybody. So far, they've not lost a single game yet on the season. Chartiers Houston, I don't think anybody is going to stand between them and a championship.
No, we'll have to see how those playoffs do shake out. Like you mentioned, though, looking really flawless here in this game especially. Every single member of their team having a goal and add almost another one as they go to the left post, bounce it off the backboard time and time again. And it's just this pressure that they create, even in low boost scenarios. They find themselves crazy touches, crazy passes. Another great touch here. Solar Shelter, the passing play from Drizzy connects.
Ooh, what a shot. And unfortunately, we can't get Drizzy's pass on the replay, but still, you just got to take our word for it. It was pretty nice. Game 2 looks to be on ice. A little over a minute to go. Chartiers Houston is leading by 4. I want to have faith in California area, but they need to score incredibly fast, and the goals have been few and far between, unfortunately.
It's because of this Chartiers offense, man. They just keep the pressure up. They don't give you too many chances down the field. For now, though, Chartiers up by 5. This is a point for California where you probably know this game isn't going to fall in your favor, but you can still work towards something nice here in this game number 3. It's all about that improvement, even if you aren't winning every single game. You know what I like to say, as long as you're improving every single day, then you're winning in my book.
Absolutely. We take a brief trip to Brazil. Chartiers Houston is now officially warmed up. They are locked in. But Llama, we do have to talk about California area just a little bit, as I can absolutely tell that they are improving game by game. And I mean, so far they have not won a game on the season. So to take a goal off of Chartiers Houston in every game you play against them, take that and run. There are so many teams that didn't even get to do that. So even if you're having a really rough season, likely not going to make the playoffs, take your wins where you get them.
Take your wins every single time, and maybe we can see this squad do it in game number 3, bring that momentum back for themselves. I'd also like to say, for Chartiers, have to be a little bit cautious with sending everybody too far forward. We've seen California get some really big clears. They start to focus on that in their defensive side. This one are down. They can get the clears and just send it back in your own net, which is not what you want to see. Either way, Drizzy Waffles going aerial again. The 8th goal here and the 5th goal on their personal account.
Man, oh man. 5 goals on the game. And I believe you said 3 in the first game. So, yeah, that's a lot. Drizzy Waffles is that guy, to the dismay of California area. This game will run out as the ball touches the ground, and Chartiers Houston takes a 2-0 lead in the series. One more. They're going to keep their undefeated streak going, not only in series, but also in games, as the statistics look a little bit more even this time. Save and demos still going the way of California area, but everything else was all Chartiers.
Chartiers really putting in the work, and talk about those passing plays, everybody really getting involved to make them happen. Over double-digit shots for the entire team, and you talk about the ball possession and field domination. California has such a great defensive side, and they have some good offense, but it's just they're stuck in that defense the entire time. It's been staying down there, and Chartiers has been able to keep up that pressure. Of course, they did take that one goal. They have possibly a little bit of momentum, and, you know, in that last minute or even where they were being scored on, you can kind of take that as a timeout. Talk about what you want to do here in this game number 3, and again, California cannot get complacent, or some of those big clears could connect.
Very true. Chartiers Houston might be in a very comfortable spot on the series, but California area is sneaky. I mean, we saw it was a kickoff goal from Lilies. That's the only goal that they scored, but they can get the job done, and they can get the job really done really quickly. So Chartiers has to stay vigilant. This is not a walk in the park for them. So far, they haven't had too many struggles, but they still need to be quite vigilant because California area is very sneaky.
Definitely are. You talk about a team that has the sneakiness, has the ability to score. That one barred down and out. In my heart, a little bit of a stop. However, I mean, you talk about a squad that has such a good high school program, a team that is always, you know, hovering around that number 1 and 2 spot. And this season, they are completely undefeated. So you can use that mentorship and have them help you kind of out, help review your VODs, which you can tell, like you said, the improvement has been there every single game. I'd be excited to see if they can take another goal off this Chartiers squad.
Love to see that. I would love to see them score first as well and take the lead. This is a great start for them, but Solar Shelter not quite going to let it happen. Bounces up and down in front of the net. Great save by Solar Shelter. California area is still pounding a big whiff. Fortunately gives that ball back over to Chartiers Houston, and they start driving down towards the California net. But nobody can get on the ball to make the shot.
But he's there. Passing play a little bit wide, but nonetheless is still going to set up Chartiers for possible success as they hover around that midfield. Again, ball possession has been something they really have relied on for the entirety of those first 2 games. I'm cracked, though. Talk about a player leading the team in score right now, has been able to make some of those critical saves down the field. Drizzy Waffles, though, has got some space, some boost to play with. The passing play to Solar Shelter doesn't connect, but all that pressure, you feel like eventually it's going to blow.
It's like a manhole cover with a bunch of gases, and it finally blows up. Enters the atmosphere at Mach 11, and Chartiers Houston, despite being a little bit of a slower shot, can still feel the pressure finally oozing out of the situation. California area, eventually, they can't hold on any longer.
More holding on for them, and 3 minutes left to go here in this third game where, like we talk about for Chartiers, this is a best of 5. You could be able to close things out. Their offense has been going at that Mach 11. They've been scoring whatever chance they can get, and it's been different players every single time. 2v1 here. Mr. Giggles handles that one very perfectly, but the follow-up shot from J. James won't miss its mark.
J. James. Yet again, a little bit of a pinch play as well, thanks to Solar Shelter. Maybe accidental, maybe not, maybe just an act, maybe it was just a mistake and they got lucky off of it. But either way, it goes in the net, and it doesn't matter how it goes in the net. All that matters is that it does go in the net. And one more time, Solar Shelter looks to go in the net. Yet again, it's saved away by California area. Oh, not this time, though. Yes, it's the stick. It's the steak again.
Every time. I don't know why.
Every single time.
It's just been this series, the steak after the steak. And you know what? Sometimes this is just how the games go. Either way, though, it's nice for California to still only be sitting in a 2-goal deficit. It's something you can come back from if you can find some goals. But Solar Shelter is going to bring this one towards the little post side there and try to go for a passing play. I love these clears, but they need to get it cleared a little bit further. Drizzy Waffles only man to beat, but a really good clear that might just find its way in off the pass.
Coast to coast from Chartiers Houston. California area had such a good play, driving it down, and Drizzy Waffles just took it away from them. Very, very unfortunate. California area is only able to record 1 shot in this game so far. Chartiers, they've had quite a plethora of shots.
They're up to 6 already on this game. The saves, though, on the other side of the field, California is starting to make those. You talk about the defense and their success in those first 2 games. What you got to get to, find the defense, find the clears. There's going to be 2 minutes left to go here for California to try and find those goals. And I feel like we said, Tucker, if you can get a goal every single game against this #1 squad, that's a win in my book.
Very true. 90 seconds to go. I can definitely see California area getting one. They make saves like that. Things are definitely looking good. Solar Shelter gets bunked by the Steak yet again. The vertical Steak playing to the aid of California area once again. And this time, Mr. Giggle, though, acting as the Steak, making that save. And they are the defender that misses sometimes, but that time they did not.
It's that time. We'll have to see if those saves do come on in. It's a little bit of team meeting going on the ground floor for Chartiers. They're going to keep the pressure up. They've been doing such a good job of focusing for those big boost pads, stealing it away from their opponents. And Cracked is going to score a goal, unfortunately, on the wrong net. Solar Shelter gets credited with that one.
Nice bounce and an unfortunate touch from Cracked. 3-4, 3-5. And likely this series is over. But still, California area can get 1 goal to go. Be off this kickoff. Mr. Giggle has a great setup for it, but nobody's there behind to go for the challenge. Cracked, though, has a nice shot. Saved away by Solar Shelter. No, it's rolling towards the net. Steak saves it yet again, and Drizzy Waffles beats it out. That was the chance, but Llama, the Steak, gets involved again. This is not fair.
It's not. I think we need somebody to go arrest that Steak. It has been bullying all day long, saving way too many of the shots. But either way, credit towards the defensive Chartiers to get that out after the dangerous play had been made. We're down to single digits, and another goal locked on in. It's not the hat trick this time for Drizzy, but another huge steal away play.
2 goals for Solars, 2 goals for Drizzy. And 1 goal is Jay James, the low man, which is surprising. You don't really see 1 goal be the low man. Usually you see 0 goals being the low man, but this time is not the case. California area does not look like they are going to get their go-ahead, their go-home goal. As in Game 3, Chartiers will shut them out, and they stay undefeated on the season, double undefeated, as they have now won 12 games with 0 losses, and their series scoreline record is now 4-0. What a start to the what a start to the season.
Good start. I think this squad, like we said, improvement for them. They haven't dropped a single game, and like you said, moving to 4-0, pretty much have already locked themselves in playoffs, but would love to hold down that #1 seed. I mean, we rarely have seen teams go undefeated into the playoffs, but an even bigger feat would be to not drop a single game all throughout the season. That's got to get its own separate award if they do accomplish it. Of course, for California on the other side, it's not the end of the world. You know, this is an improvement-based series for you where you scored goals in first the 2 games. You moved to 0-3, sure, but again, you have all those mentors, all those high school students above you. Go ask them for some help on the VOD reviews.
For sure. These things are not too bad. Chartiers might have got the job done and they might have stomped you out, but you know, you're the 8 seed going up against the 1 seed. These things are going to happen. Like you said, only thing that you can do is you can keep your head in the game, try to learn as much as possible, and maybe take a couple of goals in a game off of them. The game didn't happen, but Llama, I saw quite a few goals going the way of California area, which I would for sure take that as a win.
I would take everything they did in that series as a win. Like we said, go back, watch the VODs, and keep on that improvement. Unfortunately, no 3rd series today on the stream. No Division 2 one. That's going to be over on one of the other streams. So we do have a couple other streams going and watching, but make sure first and foremost you hit the follow button here on the high school TEC for middle school, high school, everything we run for all 4 days of the week, this stream and all of the other streams. You can also follow me and Tucker over on the Twitterverse if you want to follow us there. And a big shout out to Man Can Man in the background, not only producing this stream, but producing multiple streams for you guys out there today.
Absolutely. And also, don't forget to check us out on the social medias. We just mentioned the Twitter, but we also have an Instagram. We also have a YouTube channel. We also have a TikTok, a website, and I believe we also have a Discord server as well. So make sure that you get into all of those, you follow all of those, you like the posts of all of those, and you keep caught up with everything that the TEC has to offer. We will be back next week with, I believe, Valorant on Monday. Of course, if you're curious about what else we do Valorant Mondays, Rocket League Tuesdays, and Overwatch Wednesdays, and of course, Middle School Rocket League on Thursdays. But that's all we got for this week. We'll catch you next week, Monday, Valorant, same time, same place. We'll see you then.